This is a true story. It happened to a friend of mine, Daniel. Okay, so he's not my friend. He's my brother. Daniel and his family, which includes me, Mom, and Dad, went on a trip to Mexico for spring break. We were having a really good time until one morning when Mom thought the family should go souvenir shopping. We went to the local marketplace, and in no time, we bought everything in sight. A sombrero, a sarap, maracas, and every kind of trinket stamped made in Mexico. But on the way back to the hotel, Daniel realized that he lost his brand new good luck charm necklace. He was standing in the road screaming his head off. Dad calmed him down and told us boys to just go back and look for it. Daniel and me walked down the road looking behind trash bins and things, and guess what we found? Behind an old packing case, there was this scrawny little puppy gnawing away on Daniel's missing good luck charm. We called Mom and Dad to come and look. Dad said that the animal must be some kind of chihuahua or something, and I've got to admit, he was kind of cute. Daniel was crazy about the little guy, even though our parents thought he was kind of weird looking. So I backed off. It would be Daniel's pet, weird looking as he was. I mean the dog, not Daniel, who's weird in his own way. So anyway, our dad looked around for its owner and couldn't find him. So he decided to let Daniel keep the dog. They fed him, gave him a bath, and named him George. George and Daniel were like this for the rest of the vacation. And when it was time to fly home, Daniel assumed that George was coming with him, but Dad said no, which set off the mother of all temper tantrums. Daniel never screamed that long or that hard, ever. Finally, Mom and Dad caved in. Moms and dads usually do. So when we all got home, all included George, our newest family member, Daniel totally flipped out. George was the coolest pet that any of us ever saw. Heck, Daniel even let him share his food, his bed, and his bath. He was way more fun than a rubber duck. I mean, can a rubber duck fetch? George could. And what about sitting up and begging, rolling over and stuff? No rubber duck could do that. But George, he was a quick learner. Of course, George slept in Daniel's bed mostly, but sometimes he'd get to sleep with me. Even with Mom and Dad sometimes. George got to be one of us. And so one day, Daniel said that he was taking George to school for show and tell. Mom didn't think this was a very good idea. Why, the little pup will be scared to death, she said. But Daniel started to scream. So Mom said, okay, not wanting to experience another mother of a tantrum, since she would fold in the end anyway. Daniel crammed the dog into his school bag and ran to meet the bus. A couple of hours later, the phone rang. It was the principal. He wanted to see Mom and Dad in his office right away. They jumped in the car and raced to school. Is something wrong? Asked Dad. What's Daniel done this time? The principal led them down the hall to the science room.
I'm afraid there's a little problem,
said Mr. Lamprey, the science teacher.
Tell me, where did you get your pet?
Mom and Dad exchanged glances. What could be wrong, they wondered. Mr. Lamprey, the science teacher, told them.
Your pet isn't from around here. You might say that it's a tropical breed. And stranger still, George isn't even a dog at all.
Mr. Lamprey took a deep breath. He told them, being real careful, trying not to shock them, that George was really a giant sewer rat. This is a true story. It happened to a friend of mine. And do you know anyone who wants to buy a pet? Real cheap.